What's up, movie fans and Netflix bingers? This is the Bros Who Binge podcast. My name is Adam Schubert, and as always, I'm joined by Lyndon Burton. We're here talking everything going on in the world of movies and television, and especially excited to talk about the finale of The Boys. Lyndon, how are you doing?
Doing well, man. Made it safe from the hurricane. Hope all the Louisiana people made it safe. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hurricane Delta. But what an amazing... I'm excited for this podcast. I tweeted it out. I couldn't contain my excitement. Number one, The Boys is the best show on television. The Boys would have been the best show on television last year, but because of Watchmen, it was not. Watchmen was great, Emmy winning. The Boys should be nominated for the Emmy, but they probably won't because of how much gore and grotesque in the genre, the comic book genre that it's in. But The Boys is the best show on television. Hands down, bar. As much as I love Lovecraft, they don't have shit on The Boys. The Boys is nuts. And when we talk about this season finale, I was so impressed. Okay, so I didn't do anything over my weekend because of the evacuating, and it was just me and Kirsten. And I wanted to hang out with my girlfriend, show her some love. It wasn't time for me to record videos or watch anything. But at 1 o'clock at night, she was asleep. You know what I did? Pulled out the celly and hit it. I couldn't wait. I had to watch it. It was nuts. That the season finale is so good that it was that when I watched it the second time, it was like, oh man, this was even better than I thought, because some stuff I missed that they were foreshadowing for season 3, and then hearing the director's or the showrunner's comments on season 3. We don't know what we're in for, but it's funny. If people would have heard me and your conversation, I guess it's like our pre-production 1 conversation that we had on the phone earlier today, when we were talking about how The Boys is kind of set up like The Wire in a sense. And I'm going to explain that when we break it through, but I think so even more so now that the showrunner's comments, and we're going to talk about that. Then we got some big DC news with Green Lantern hype talk. We're not going to skip anything.
It came out of nowhere.
It came out of left field, man. And then we got some great trailers, courtesy of NYC Comic-Con, which I didn't expect to happen this week. And then our topic of the week, I think we got some good topics lined up for you guys. I've thought of some incredible things for us to have as main topics for the show. This week, we're drafting what if Schubert was the casting director for his perfect Quentin Tarantino movie. If he has a genre for it, he'll give it. If not, if you have a pitch, you can, but if not, it's okay. And then I draft my quintessential Tarantino roster. But the thing is, once Schubert takes an actor, I can't take him, or once I take an actor, Schubert can't take him. Bringing the draft back, I think this is gonna be dope, and I'm excited.
The other side rule in this draft is that you have to have 2 recurring Tarantino characters, which I feel like we'll have more than that.
I got one.
It's just the bare minimum.
I have one that's if you mess this up, I'll kind of be sad. The others are floating. If you take one of them, I'm cool. If I get one of, you know what I'm saying? There's so many good ones, but I have my heart set on one.
I have one that's probably going to make a lot of people's mouths drop, and also our producer Ian's probably going to love it. So.
Oh man, I hope you don't take who I want now. Oh, I feel like this is about to happen. But
it might. But I hope one of us takes it, because I was reading an article about people who were considered for Tarantino's, and
yeah. See, I did the same thing. I did that, and then the people that were considered, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own people, but the reoccurring people, I went I didn't do the typical reoccurring people. I went deep in the well.
I tried to get at least one of the typical, and then I went pretty deep into it. People who I thought did really good in the Tarantino films, but needed to get a bigger role in a different one.
I wonder if one of us is gonna take Samuel. I'm just saying that up top, because obviously that's the most notable person who's in majority of Quentin. I think he's been in every one, because even the Kill Bill, he was the narrator. But I don't.
Well, if you don't take him, then I'll probably take him at the end.
That's fine. I'm cool. I didn't plan on taking him. That was one that I was like, if Schubert gets him, cool. If I get him, cool.
I didn't put him in my list because I thought you would take him.
See, interesting. I'm glad we both thought that way. That means we're gonna have a very interesting draft, ladies and gentlemen. And then some of the topics we got next week. Look, we were supposed to give y'all a pitching match this week. Blame Charles.
Charles is just going through a rough time, man, because LSU is just terrible. And
throwing shots. Let me fix Itachi, because you're caught up with Naruto. Let me straighten him out. All my figures are turned to the side because I thought I was going to take him with me. but had to let me fix them. But yeah, no, I'm just fucking around. Life happens. I'm just giving Charles a hard time because he's who I'm battling. But nah, we should have pitched it very, very soon. It's either gonna be next week or the week after, one of the two. So y'all be on
There's
the lookout
plenty
for
of
that.
other stuff going on as
But
well.
we're definitely gonna give y'all a run it back this week. This week? Isn't it Wednesday? Let me just say.
I don't know if you've had a chance to watch Scott Pilgrim,
I
but
have
I
not.
definitely haven't had a chance to watch Scott Pilgrim.
We're giving inside baseball this episode. Now I'm gonna try to watch it before Wednesday. Isn't that the day? Ian's gonna kick our ass.
It's supposed to be the day.
It's supposed to be the day. Well, you guys will probably get a running back Thursday, Friday, Monday. Around that nebulous of time. We will see if things work out.
We'll see.
But yeah, Schubert, whenever you're ready, because we got a lot to discuss this episode, and I'm excited.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot to get into, so let's get started. All right, so let's start up top with the big news. HBO Max has given out a series order to Green Lantern based on the DC Comics property. The show was first announced being in development this last year. The plot details are now available for the first time. The show is going to depict the adventures of a multitude of Lanterns, including Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and Alan Scott, Earth's first Green Lantern, who, true to comics, is a gay man, and many more. The series will also include fan favorites such as Sinestro and Kilowog, and will also introduce new heroes to the ranks of the Green Lantern Corps. HBO Max has ordered a 10 one-hour episodes slate. The series will be co-written and executive produced by Seth Grahame-Smith and Mark Guggenheim, with Grahame-Smith serving as the showrunner.
I'm trying to see. Oh, Seth Grahame-Smith has not made that great of things. No. He wrote the Lego Batman. I thought he was doing other stuff. Lego Batman. Okay. Pride and Prejudice, Zombies, Dark Shadows. He has a decent writer's thing. Okay, cool. What has he produced?
Except for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, that's what I saw at first, and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. But after Pride and Prejudice, Zombies, he had the Lego Batman, Eyes of the Dragon, Just Beyond, and It. So he did a good job. Can't be mad at that. And he produced It. So I think this is not bad. I'm not concerned about him. I have a question. So because there's there's 3 glaring names missing. 3 glaring names. When you name Green Lantern and you name Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and even fucking Alan Scott, who's not even like a space alien. He's not even like a Green Lantern Corps member because his thing is like magic. It's like some weird shit. And then you have Sinestro and Kilowog mentioned, but you don't mention 3 names. It stands out to me. You don't mention Hal. You don't mention Kyle. You don't mention Kyle, and you don't mention John Stewart. Those are 3 names that are glaring. So I am wondering if this show serves as kind of how Gotham PD is the tie-in to the Batman, and how Peacemaker's kind of a spinoff of Suicide Squad. Does this movie take place inside of the inevitable buddy cop John Hal or John Kyle? It's not going to be Kyle and Hal. John's going to be in there. I know that for a fact. So will that be in their universe?
I don't know.
That's question 1 I have. That's the number 1 question.
That's a good question. I feel like leaving those names off is so that
it's
you
blatant.
can use them for bigger property.
Yeah, it's a blatant
I feel like at this point Hal's kind of out. Like I feel
you think it's Kyle and John. See, I
don't know.
I don't think they make John old. John's gonna be young. I don't think they make John old.
Well, if you do that, then it's got to be Hal and John. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't see Kyle, like, as much as people love Kyle, our generation loves John Stewart more because of.
Well, that's why he's in.
That and that's what I'm saying. That's why I know for a fact he's in. And if you're DC, you have to think, well, we have the young generation with John. We got the old generation with Hal. That's why I think Kyle may be a season 2 in this show, or Kyle may come later in a movie. But if Hal dies, and then we may see that. But for now,
it does say that there's going to be other ones. But I mean, if you're gonna not name Kyle Rayner, then I feel like he's not involved. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel
So
you. Another thing I'm interested in, Sinestro's in it. And see, that's why I asked this, because if Sinestro's in this, there's no way Sinestro's not in the movie. And I think, what could be special is if you do Sinestro as a lantern in this show, and then when we get to the movie, we get the Sinestro Core War. And then in the introduction of Sinestro. And then by that point, fans who aren't watching the show will understand the story, because it's like, oh, Sinestro's turning from Green Lantern to Yellow Lantern. But if you watch the show, it could be like, damn, Sinestro was near and dear to our hearts. He was a hero. He was someone who was important to us, and now we're seeing his fall for grace. I think that's something that could be possible.
It's just weird where we're all laying in the timeline. Like, aren't a lot of these lanterns, past Sinestro already doing all that?
No. Well, I mean, it just obviously Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz are new characters, and by the time they're introduced, technically, Sinestro has already done that. But if the way that DC resets its timeline every time, and we'll get a Sinestro story with the new, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how it could work. I mean, it could work either way, but I'm excited for this. I think this could be good if they put the money into it. The question that I have is the people working on it, Mark Guggenheim and Seth Graham-Smith. Like, is Mark Guggenheim, like, are we getting a CW level Green Lantern show? I hope not, because of HBO Max. You think so?
I think so.
I hope.
I mean,
and if that's the case, I don't think the movie's tied in then.
That's where I'm leaning. Like, I feel like the reason you don't name big names, Sinestro, I guess, is the one big name you get, but I feel like you can also, thanks to the Flash, multiverse it out so that you don't really have to
This
connect.
Is one Earth.
Yeah, like, I feel like, putting this out with no casting information, we're going to find that you're going to get a lot of, like, D-listers that are going to be cast in these roles.
Oof. All right.
I mean, I feel like we're talking like Stargirl.
See, I think I'm of the belief that is like plan B in my head. Plan A is like they cast like 2 A-listers, or like 2 B-listers, B-lister
TV types.
Like,
no
or
movie
even
types.
or even 1 A-lister TV, to where if
maybe
this is
an A-lister
successful,
TV.
to where if this is successful, then we'll connect it. But if it's not, we won't. But let's assume they don't, and it's like what you say, then I don't know how interested I am. But the thing that holds me to it is it's HBO. I don't think HBO's – maybe I have too much faith in HBO right now.
Well, I mean, you got to think about, like, what HBO is also attached their name to is a lot of the stuff that's come out of this DC. I mean, they're still going to be more – DC's still working with the CW people too. So, I mean, like, there's going to be a lot of –
yeah, HBO attached its name to, like, Peacemaker and the Matt Reeves TV show with Terrence Winter writing. That's what, like, HBO has attached themselves to. HBO Max has attached themselves to this.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's two different things at this point. Where, like, because they're still continuing Stargirl. They're still going to do that Superman and Lois thing, and that's going to end up being on HBO Max probably.
Well, that's a CW show until it gets to streaming, but it'll probably end up on HBO Max at some point. Yeah, man, yeah. I just hope this isn't a CW thing. I really hope it's not.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a quote unquote CW thing, but I don't think it's going to be Titans.
Ooh, I hope it's at least Titans. Like, it's got to be at least Doom Patrol and Titans level of good. If not, then why are we doing a Green Lantern?
I mean, like, I think they're going to be trying to do that, but I just don't know, like, if you're going to get – yeah, I don't know if you're going to get the execution out of it. And when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. But, like, when you think about more of what they're going to have to do this is going to be like, well, I mean –
how much money are you putting into this?
How much money are you putting into this? Like, how serious are you taking this if it's not going to be part of the movie universe?
Because you got us like, you have us spoiled now when you announce things like Terrence Winter and Matt Reeves are making a Gotham City PD that's going to tie into the Batman. You have the Peacemaker tying into Suicide Squad. So you're leading us to believe that these things are going to be tied. That this
would have to do something like that.
With a movie, yeah. And if it doesn't, then that tells you all you need to know, kind of. Like, yeah, honestly, if it doesn't, then it's like, ooh, I don't know if you're putting, like, enough stock into this, because you also tap, like, no disrespect to Mark Guggenheim, but you tap the Arrow guy. Like, I don't know. Now you got me doing a whole 180. God damn it. But, Green Lantern might be good. We'll see. But something I'm excited for that Amazon purposely put on the title was the adult animated new superhero show Invincible. And boy, did that trailer look good. We got Steve Nguyen voice and J.K. Simmons, Mark Hamill, just to say the least. This is a story of a kid who becomes, this is something that Jake actually used in Pitch It, if you remember one of our Pitch It matches. It's a story of a kid who becomes a superhero, and he becomes invincible. And it's about his tale of becoming the hero Invincible and his powers. His dad is a superhero, and it's about their lives and finding out who they are and what's everything going on with that. But the trailer looked phenomenal.
It seems a little comedic, but also very serious, which is what I like. It feels
like The Boys. It feels very similar to the.
I don't know if it feels like The Boys to me.
I think when you see the gore that's coming, it's gonna give those vibes.
I guess, like, to me, it seems like something that's not to that gore level, but it does seem like something that's going to be taking itself pretty seriously.
And that's why I know they put adult animated on purpose, because this is not something that teens are going to watch it, but it's not something that's intended for them, because the gore that's about to be in this show is boys level gore. Like, it is so serious that, like, this show only works animated because of how much shit they have to do, that I don't think it could be pulled off live action.
I guess they held that off in the trailer because, like, I just really didn't see that. I felt that it was more of like a cinematic kind of thing.
But see, and I don't know if I'm spoiling anything, but that's part of the twist. Like, you find out some stuff, and then the show does a 180 on it. Like, the story does a 180 on its head. Like, you think it's the superhero tale, and then it's like, whoa, what the fuck is happening?
And, you know, is there more than just like that superhero family? Is it like a lot more?
It's way more. There's a whole world. Like,
I got you.
It's in the comics still going on right now. I don't think it's done. It might be done.
Probably not.
It might not. I don't know. But, like, it's a huge world of stuff going on, and that's gonna be, again, Amazon, best studio out right now, like best streaming service out. It's putting out quality. And this is going to join that roster, and it just makes me excited for all things Amazon.
Yeah. Moving on to the next trailer.
We got the 335, the 355.
Yeah, the 355. When a top secret weapon falls into mercenary hands, a wild card CIA agent joins forces with 3 international agents on a lethal mission to retrieve it, while staying a step ahead of a mysterious woman who's tracking their every move. Cast of this is Jessica Chastain, Sebastian Stan, Diane Kruger, Penelope Cruz, Lupita Nyong'o, Bing Bing Fan, Edgar Ramirez. You know, there's some big names attached to this. It seems like a pretty interesting movie with, you know, 5 different countries, secret agents coming together to
gives me Atomic Blonde vibes, gives me John Wick vibes, gives me I don't want to say Fast and the Furious because it doesn't seem like that. It seems more serious.
If you wanted to give something that's a little cheesy like that, it kind of reminds me of Expendables.
Yeah, that's a better one. Like
where it's like a team that has to come together. Yeah.
But a female-led team. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to watch this. This is right up my alley. I'm going to at least see if it's good. I love watching all secret agent, CIA, mission type, woman on a mission, man on a mission type movies. So, like, I'm going to watch it. So, like,
Simon
355.
Simon Kinberg is going to be directing. And, you know, we haven't really seen him do too much directing besides Dark Phoenix, which is, you know, a little suspect. But he has been a producer on films like Logan.
But it has a star-studded cast: Lupita Nyong'o, Diane Kruger, Jessica Chastain. I'm hyped for that. Hyped to see those ladies in a movie. So, you know, this should be good. But something that doesn't look good, and we just talked about how Amazon's stepping up the animation game. HBO Max has the Primal series running right now from Gennady Tartakovsky. HBO Max doing star-studded animation. Amazon stepping in the animation game. You know who's stepping in the animation game but taking an L? Hulu. Hulu and Marvel dropped the first pictures for their MODOK series. Shit looks trash. Shit looks trash, bro. And like,
it does look pretty trash.
And I know people are gonna be like, but Lyndon, what about like it's this moral oral type animation? And I love moral oral from like Adult Swim, if you know what I'm talking about. Like it's like stick figures, like they made like it's not stick figures, but it's like that claymation, but it's not claymation. This shit doesn't look good, bro. I'm sorry. And, like, I understand why it's not on Disney Plus because I don't think Feige wants anything to do with this shit.
You're probably right. I mean, I didn't even like really watch it because I just was like, this just looks too ridiculous, man. And like, you know, I just when I did watch it, I was like, I'm just not into this. I watched the whole thing, but I mean, I almost stopped it in the middle. I was just like,
I didn't even know there was a trailer. I just looked at the
it.
pictures and I was like, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a short little thing, but it's just like,
this shit didn't look good, man. Like, I'm excited for Marvel's their Elseworld title, which like the What Ifs. I'm excited for that animation because that's gonna be on Disney Plus. But this doesn't look good at all. Like, I don't know what they're doing with this shit.
Something they're brushing, and I wouldn't even blame Hulu too much for this. I would just blame Marvel trying to do something different.
The Perlmutter is the Perlmutter administration. I think that was under his side of TV.
Because I mean, Hulu does put out like
quality stuff,
decent cartoon stuff. I mean, like Solar Opposites was Hulu.
Yeah, it was, and they're doing the Animaniacs. That's not on HBO Max.
Yeah, and they are doing Animaniacs, which I guess I forgot to add into this, but there was a short, little video of Animaniacs coming back. They kind of did a spoof on Jurassic Park,
and it had me excited.
Yeah, it had me excited. Kind of reminded me of similar Animaniacs vibes, so definitely interested to see that come out next month.
Pinky and the Brain's going to be in there too, so I'm excited for that.
That has to be.
Yeah, I hope all of them are in there, like Pinky and the Brain, the Mob Pigeons,
the little girl,
Slappy, and the squirrels. Yeah, the little girl, and like come on, I love you, goodbye. Like that little girl, she was awesome. Who else is in there? The nurse.
The nurse, that's what I was about to say.
The security guard, the professor, like all that. Dot's poetry corner, need that in there. The lesson of the day, like all that shit. Like bring the Animaniacs was fire for a reason. Don't change anything. And you have to spoof pop culture, and there's been shit. 20, 30, yeah, like a lot of pop culture to spoof since the last time we seen Animaniacs.
They're definitely gonna do a superhero thing.
Oh yeah, I mean they did. I'm assuming Spielberg's 100% okaying this and giving them the blessing.
I feel like that's why they
spoofed Jurassic Park,
and he was in it.
Yeah, true. No, 100%.
But yeah, my thing with the Animaniacs is like, are they going to try and bring it to a new, younger audience, or are they going to try and play it to the people who grew up with it and make it a little bit more, I wouldn't say risque, but
keep the risque level that it was at least.
Yeah, I mean, because like, where we're seeing now with stuff like that gets brought back, it's a little toned down because we're a little bit more toned down in 2020 than we were back then with some of the topics. And I would just kind of like to see it stay the same.
No, I'm with you 100%. So hopefully that show is good. Here's some news. We're not going to spend too long on this because this is just, it's cut and dry. It is what it is. But these are some pushbacks. I hate that we have the pushback corner or the delay corner on this pod, but we're to the delay corner. Christmas will not be the same for us this year, Schubert. All the Christmas movies are getting pushed back. Wonder Woman, pushed back. We don't know when. Dune, pushed back to a date that just breaks my fucking heart. October 1st, 2021. It breaks my heart because Dune is so far away, but it breaks my heart because it took the Batman release date, which gets pushed to March 4th, 2022. This movie is now 2 years away. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I feel like I'm going to die. Like that I need to live to see the new Batman. That's the new date I'm looking forward to live to. 2 years away. This is shitty. This is super shitty. Next, Flash, move back to November 4th, 2022. Shazam shifted an entire year. June 2nd, 2023. Those kids, they might have mustaches by then. What are we doing? Next.
I mean, they can film it.
Black Adam.
Just have it in a can.
Black Adam out of the schedule entirely. What's up with The Rock? No, Noah Centineo, Aldous Hedge. What is going on? But you want to move The Matrix up to December 22nd, 2021? What are we thinking, Warner Brother? Gosh. They know.
It's trash.
Yeah, they're trying to have theaters in so they can get all their money worth with all these movies. I get it. The Batman, you want to have a full theater capacity. Dune, got to have a full theater. Gosh, we have the Batman trailer already, and we're pushing it back to the 2 years? 2? Fuck me, bro. Fuck me.
It's rough. And I mean, you make a good point about the Shazam stuff. I feel like it is going to be done before that, but you can't do any more past this.
All these movies are gonna be done, bro. Like, and it's crazy. Suicide Squad. I don't know if that Suicide Squad didn't get moved. So does that mean they have confidence in Suicide Squad, or they don't? Like
I feel like
or they're giving the Batman more time to film.
The thing is, it's like, the Batman and Flash still got to film. Shazam still got to film. So like they're giving them like a little bit of leeway because they still got to film. But Suicide Squad is done.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I guess so. In case like Batman has any more halts, any more COVID stops,
and because you're gonna get Wonder Woman. So like, let's say you have Wonder Woman in 2021, and you also have Suicide Squad in 2021. So you're still giving the fans content. When you get to 2022, you get Batman probably.
Nothing.
And Flash, yeah.
Oh yeah, Batman and Flash, yeah.
So
Flash. 2022 is going to be the year of the Batman with Flash.
What would be really interesting,
Batman, and then Robert
for
Pattinson's
Shazam and Black Adam is if they did go back to back in 2023.
That's a good point. I could see that happening. I could see that happening. That'd be lit. I'd actually enjoy that. The year of Shazam. We have the year of the Batman with Batman, and then the Flash's Batman.
Old Batmans, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the year of Shazam versus Black Adam. I could dig that, but damn, bro, breaks my fucking. Now I gotta wait more months for fucking Dune, which I was ready for Christmas.
I'm glad because now I can read it.
Mm-hmm.
Take my time.
It just sucks. Like, what are we gonna watch this year on Christmas? No movie theater day, bro. Unless the theater's showing some old movie. That's gonna break my heart. It's been. I don't remember the last time I didn't go to a movie during Christmas.
I'm pretty sure there still are movies coming out at Christmas.
Just
I can look that up real quick.
Just not movies we want to see.
Because I saw that they were moving some stuff to Christmas.
Oh,
movies on Christmas this year.
R.I.P. to the theater. See, this is more reason why I gotta get on you fucks out there to wear your mask. Like, gosh, bro, if you don't care about your livelihoods, care about your entertainment. Like, god damn. Nothing.
Yeah,
huh? Trash.
Yeah, nothing. They're only telling me about the Netflix stuff, which
trash.
Which is lame.
Oh, sad times. Sad times at Ridgemont High. Sad times. This is not the fast or the high times. This is the sad times. But that's all I got on the delay updates.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to the next topic, which was something that I thought was really interesting when I saw the cast list. So Constantine Film has set in motion a new adaptation to add to the ever-expanding Resident Evil movie franchise. They have tapped writer-director Johannes Roberts that they're going to do an original story adaptation that stays true to Capcom's classic survival horror games. The story is going to be set in 1998 on a fateful night in Raccoon City. And it's going to be exactly as the Resident Evil 1 and 2 games played out, which is nowhere near what the movies were. Okay. And they're going to have the same original characters. So starring in the roles of the iconic game characters will be Maze Runner's Kaya Sosa Delario, who's going to play Claire Redfield, alongside Hannah John Kamen, who from Ant-Man and the Wasp, who played the Ghost.
Yeah.
She'll play Jill Valentine. Robbie Amell will play Chris Redfield. Tom Hopper from Umbrella Academy will play Albert Wesker.
Who's that? Is that the buff? Is that the monkey bro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. Avon Yogia from Victorious.
Yeah, I knew
He's
that
going
guy.
to play Leon S. Kennedy. And Neil McDonough, the ultimate movie villain, is going to be William Birkin.
He was also in Arrow. He was
he was the villain.
Yeah, he was the villain. Yeah, he was that guy. All right, cool. This is tight. Shout out to Capcom. Good for them.
Yeah, I think this is a really good move to kind of stay true to the actual game.
Better than the Mila Jovovich universe.
It could be. And I mean, I feel like they got people here in the cast list that are all fairly good names that people recognize. And I think that that's going to be good for getting people into the seats.
Yeah, it'll be decent.
Or
it's a decent
to buy
enough
VOD,
cast.
however it goes.
Yeah, so, good for them. I'll check this out at least once.
Yeah, for sure. The next story is that New Line Cinema has prevailed in winning rights to the pitch Super High, which has Andy Samberg, Craig Robinson, and Common attached to star. According to sources, the film is a superhero comedy where smoking special weed gives you superpowers.
I'm watching this. And
Yes.
instantly in style. I watched all the stoner movies are on Hulu right now, like How High, Half Baked. Me and my girlfriend watched all of those one night. Reno 911, Miami. Watched all that
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Yeah, like I watched all of that shit in one day. I'm definitely watching this. Craig Roberts, Andy Samberg, Common. Andy Samberg last movie he did was
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, and that movie was a success. And Craig Robinson's a
great.
funny dude. Common's doing good stuff for Common to be in it with those two dudes. It's got to be a good movie. I'm in. I am in.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a really good pitch to pick up. Andy Samberg, I can totally see running with this.
And in the superhero age, this is how you make good content. You don't have to be DC and Marvel to use superheroes. We've seen The Boys, Invincible, now this.
Yeah, I mean, I bring back the stoner comedy. I was listening to an interview with the people who were a part of Harold and Kumar, and they were saying how they talked to John Cho and Cal Penn almost every month about doing another Harold and Kumar. We need to see a return of the stoner movies, and I think that, getting this going is definitely a good first step.
Man, John Cho thinks he's too good now for Harold and Kumar. Dude, Spike Spiegel.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. they're saying that they're all down for it. I think that's a
after the
opportunity
Christmas
for
one.
Netflix.
What are they gonna do, bro? Like they're
New
married.
age. Yeah, think
the
about
kids,
it. Like
make them parents.
The reunion of they'd be like, dude, we haven't done something for a long time. Let's go to White Castle.
Oh my gosh. It'd have to be really good because that Christmas one was not. So, But Guantanamo Bay, I argue, is better than the first one. I argue it because the Escape Guantanamo Bay was really good. Like I like.
Oh yeah, it goes places. That's for sure.
It does 100%. But next up, we got Robert Downey Jr. has revealed his plans to expand the Sherlock Holmes franchise into a new cinematic universe with multiple spinoffs. Speaking on a keynote panel at the Fast Company Innovation Festival earlier this week, Downey Jr. and his producing partner Susan Downey outlined their intentions to spin a mystery verse out of the third Sherlock Holmes films, which is being directed by Rocketman Helmer Dexter Fletcher. In their minds, the new sequel would serve as an entry point into a new Holmes-inspired universe. We think there's opportunity to build out more. And they plan to have various projects in a shared universe, spin-off characters from the third movie to see what's going on in a television landscape, to see what Warner Media is starting to build out things, which HBO and HBO Max. Interesting. This sounds like Downey won't be involved anymore in Sherlock Holmes to me.
After the film. I mean, he's going to do this one more film. But I think like what this could be building out is, I don't think he's completely done with the character. I think it'd be something where he could show up as like a guest star in other series that are involving spin-off characters. I think, with bringing out something like Enola Holmes, you can maybe create
your own
Enola Holmes in like this mystery verse. So like, I feel like this, at first, when I hear that Robert Downey Jr. wants to do a mystery verse out of Sherlock, I'm like, well, that sounds really stupid. But think that they want to take it into more of a television landscape at HBO and HBO Max, it kind of intrigues me a little bit more so.
I need to see the characters they're speaking of first.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Sherlock Holmes movies that they've done with Robert Downey.
Me too. But if it's not Downey Jr. and Jude Law, what am I watching? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are these characters? Like, you tell me a mystery verse, and I can't have the best detective ever, Sherlock Holmes. Who am I following?
If you want to do like more Moriarty, like
but Moriarty's dead. Are they gonna like?
You can bring him back. I mean, like,
and do a prequel. Yeah, but they set up from this third movie, so I'm thinking this third movie has like rival detectives or competitors out there that we follow.
It's quite possible. I mean, we don't know what this third movie is going to entail, and if it's something that they think they're going to be able to spin off from,
it's got to be something. Yeah, it's got to be some endearing characters, and got to see.
And I'm thinking if they want to do a verse, then there's going to be more than one.
Yeah, there's got to be, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's going to be like rival detectives, or Sherlock inspires a new generation, or something. It's got to be something like that because it's mystery. So they're still solving crimes. So who is solving these crimes? That's just my brain putting the two and two together. But that's all I got on that. Interesting to see Robert Downey Jr. his next plans.
So Netflix is going to go down the rabbit hole with their latest project. Yes, that means that they're going to develop
We
a
don't need
new
any more, bro.
adaptation of the classic fantasy story Alice in Wonderland. The upcoming film will bring together the same team behind the popular dance movie Work It, which premiered on Netflix earlier this year. Work It stars Sabrina Carpenter, is set to play Alice in this new film
It's
entitled
not for us.
Alice, which will put a modern spin on the well-known Lewis Carroll tale. While few details about the project have been publicly revealed, we do know that it will be a musical, and it takes place at a music festival
I didn't
called
even know
Wonderland.
this. This is so trash. What she could be doing? Taking acid? Like, if she's not taking acid at this music fest, then this shit is trash, bro.
I'm honestly, knowing Sabrina Carpenter as an actress and like seeing what she does like off screen and on screen, I totally could see her taking acid at a music festival.
If she's not taking acid or shrooms, I'm not watching.
Maybe more so shrooms than acid, but
I'm not Look, bro. After the,
I mean, regardless of whether or not she does take shrooms or not, I still feel like it's gonna be trash.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like it would be cooler if she did that and it wasn't a musical.
This shit sounds horrible, bro. It's trash. Netflix making more trash content. But you want to know who's not making trash content? John David Washington. Shout out to my guy, JD Dubs. Come on the pod, brother. We love you over here. John David Washington has joined Christian Bale and Margot Robbie and David O. Russell's new Untitled film at New Regency. O. Russell will direct from his own script. Plot details are keeping under wraps. This is what we want to see. John David Washington working with the best directors out, working with John O. Russell and working with my boy, David O. Russell, and working with Christian Bale and Margot Robbie. Sounds like a win.
Yeah, David O. Russell has been a part of Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle, which are
I was about to say
films
American
that I
Hustle. Yeah,
really enjoy.
And The Fighter. He's made great movies with Christian Bale.
He has, and so just thinking about this being like a Christian Bale led film, and then adding Margot Robbie, who's one of the bigger female actress stars in Hollywood at the moment. I mean, she can do literally anything.
Yep.
And then John David Washington, who's the new budding star in Hollywood, with pretty much all the films that he's made have been gold. So.
Yep. And he did Three Kings, which was fire. That Ice Cube, Mark Wahlberg movie. I really enjoyed that. Shout out to David O. Russell. This is what I want to see. John David Washington working with the big people. So this is dope.
What's interesting tidbit about this movie is that earlier, Michael B. Washington was supposed to be in
Michael
it,
B. Jordan?
or Michael B. Jordan. I'm sorry, and I feel like John David Washington replaced him.
Hey, I like it. Michael B. Jordan, you better stop face acting. Let's get some real acting up there. You got to stop being the blockbuster guy. I told you, MBJ, you was on the list, but you was on the list as the blockbuster guy. John David, that's a different caliber actor, brother. That's a different caliber. My guy's doing blockbusters, Oscars. He might not even do blockbusters no more after this. This might just be Oscar land for my man. So
might be.
We're going to see. But hopefully he's Jon Stewart. Don't let JD Dubs be Jon Stewart. I'm a shit a brick.
Jonathan Majors already screwed us over.
Yeah, JM. Oh, I had so much high expectations for Jonathan Majors. He looks like Jon Stewart. Don't get me started, Schubert. You're gonna make me sad all again, and I'm super sad because of the Batman being pushed to 2022. I don't know what the fuck Warner Brothers is thinking. But next up, we got Gal Gadot. I'm not saying all this. She's playing Cleopatra in the historical drama that will reunite her and Patty Jenkins. Paramount Pictures won the rights, and they beat out Apple, Universal, Warner Brothers, and Netflix. So this is huge. This means this is probably a damn.
It's gonna be more serious. Yeah,
it's gonna be a serious epic. So we haven't had a Troy Alexander the Great epic in a while, and Cleopatra epic sounds good.
I mean, I don't know if I would compare it to like Troy.
What you mean? They said it's gonna be an epic. If it's gonna be an epic, that's gonna be a Troy type. Because she was a queen of war. She was queen to what's my boy's name? Mark Anthony, and they fought major war. Is his name Mark Anthony?
Anthony.
Mark Anthony? Yeah, I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not tripping.
No.
All right, cool.
I want to see her, in that love triangle too.
With Cleopatra.
Caesar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mark Anthony, Cleopatra, and Caesar. It's gonna be lit. So, good for Gal Gadot. I don't have much more to say on it than that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like doing something with Cleopatra would be pretty interesting.
And it's Patty Jenkins who gets the best work out of Gal Gadot. I'm more excited for Patty Jenkins than Gal Gadot, so
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins
the
is
last
gold.
story that I have here, I just thought was really interesting based on the director choice. But they're doing Thomas the Tank Engine is returning to the big screen in a new live-action movie from World War Z director Mark Forster. But at first, there is a lot of very dark comedy when you look back at Thomas the Tank Engine series, and so at first I'm thinking this, I'm like, are they gonna take this real? Are they gonna do no? But I mean, it is probably gonna be way more lighthearted and kid friendly. And I was a big fan of the Thomas the Tank Engine franchise back in the day, so I'm not gonna watch it, but good for them that they're bringing it back.
You had to throw that in there. Good for Thomas and the Thomas.
Because I just want people to imagine if they did World War Z with Thomas the Tank Engine, because I think that would be very interesting.
Save that for a pitching match next season.
I would love to see Thomas the Tank Engine tank on a horde of zombies.
I'm not gonna lie, that might be funny. But all right, let's get into movie on the rise. Am I starting us off?
Yeah, you can start us off if you want. I'm ready.
All right. This week, I'm ready. This week is the trial of the Chicago 7. We're going to be reviewing that on next Bros Who Binge. It's with Sacha Baron Cohen. What's my boy from Newt Scamander? What's his name, bro?
That'd be Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne. My boy Yahya Abdul-Mahin's in this. Looks like a very good movie. I'm excited to watch that this weekend. It comes out on Friday, the trial of the Chicago 7. We've talked about that on this show before. Very famous trial during the civil rights era. I'm loving that. I'm so happy. Should you understand? Even though the civil rights era might make certain black people feel queasy or make them feel uneasy because of the subject matter, for me, I'm happy we out of the slave era, bro. That's what made me feel uneasy. I hated those fucking movies. At least with this Lovecraft, the movie with Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya coming out about Fred Hampton. That looks good. All these civil rights era movies with the hippie generation from the 60s and 70s. Give me more of this. This shit is great.
Sure. I mean, I think the parallels that it draws to today's time, make it really more relevant than slave era stuff. We'll talk about it on Lovecraft. I love that a lot of people are revisiting the Tulsa thing because not a lot of people know exactly what happened. We haven't mentioned this on this podcast, I believe, but Russell Westbrook is actually producing an actual documentary about it that I think is going to be worth checking out eventually. But I think that
Russ getting in the content game. I see Russ. Every NBA player thinks they're a content guy now, man. Shout out to KD. Shout out to 35 Ventures. Shout out to my guy Bansky. They're out there killing it. And Kyrie's in it now. Westbrook. Kyrie did Uncle Drew. We'll see if Kyrie's thing's successful. We'll see if Russ is successful. But shout out to these NBA players, man, in the content game. Yeah,
you forgot Space Jam.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody know Bron's in it. Uninterrupted. His HBO deal. Bron's killing it, man. But if I have to say which NBA player I support in the content game, I throw my flag to Bansky and Kevin Durant and 35 Ventures. Shout out to KD.
Yeah, not Thunderstruck.
Who's Thunderstruck?
That was his movie, right? KD.
KD had a movie?
Yeah, bro, he had a movie.
No way.
Look it up right now.
KD movie. Let's see. Google.
You're talking about Kevin Durant. When he was in Oklahoma City, he had a movie.
Kevin Durant was in a movie?
Mm-hmm.
No way. Let's see. Kevin Durant movie.
Playing himself as in Oklahoma City.
Thunderstruck. Bro, I don't count this. KD don't count this. Look at you.
Down.
Knowledge. Look at you. Okay, for sure. All right, what you got next? What's your movie on the rise?
Well, this week The Bachelorette starts thanks to LeBron finally getting it done and
I'm watching
the NBA Finals not being on Tuesday night. So Bachelorette Tuesdays is back. We're gonna get to see the craziness ensue.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I told my girlfriend about it. She's hyped. I'm ready to see the shit happen. Week 2, huh? She dip out. I'm ready.
Week 2 or 3, yeah.
Oh yeah, they might stretch the first night 2 weeks.
Might stretch it out a little bit. And also, the host Chris Harrison goes on a hiatus in the middle of the season too because his son's going to college. So wholesome, but he dips out, and past Bachelorette JoJo Fletcher comes in and hosts some of the episodes.
Weird. I'm watching this season. That shit sounds nuts.
It's gonna be it's gonna be nuts.
And we're just sitting waiting for the black guy to come on.
They've announced his cast.
Oh, they did.
Check it out on a Cosmo article.
Look at us referring to Cosmo, ladies. We're for everybody.
No. Shout out to Cosmo. Actually, Emma Beatty. I went to journalism camp with her. She's a movie writer at Cosmo. She puts out some good stuff. So you guys should check her out. Yeah, my second thing on here is The Right Stuff, the National Geographic show that's on Disney Plus. It's
space thing.
It's space, yeah, but it's scripted and it has actors like one of the guys from Greek who you remember that show, Greek?
No. What?
Okay. Well, you remember the movie Limitless?
Yeah, I remember Limitless.
Yeah, you remember the show Limitless?
No, never watched the show.
The guy who stars in that is in it. Your boy.
Is this about Neil Armstrong?
No, it's about the Mercury 7, the first people to go into space.
All right, Lit. That's better than what I expected. Because if it was a retelling of this Ryan Gosling shit that he keeps doing,
no.
I wasn't for that.
Let me tell you who's in this because, like, there are people that you recognize. It. Yeah. What's his name? Oh crap, James Lafferty, who played.
Oh my guy,
from
who played
One
in One Tree Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays one of the people.
Nathan Scott making a reappearance in the acting game. Shout out to young Nate.
Yeah, he's in this. Like I said, the guy Jake McDorman, who is in the stuff that I was just naming.
Is
also an
Nathan
American
Scott
Sniper.
Gonna get me to watch this fucking show just to see James Lafferty again? I
watched the first episode tonight, and
it was good.
It was pretty good. It's kind of interesting. So, and yeah, it's just a short little thing on Disney Plus. You got to have some more adult content on Disney Plus. I mean, you got these astronauts out here trying to slay some tail out there. So it's not
Disney Plus. Okay. Well, that might make me check it out even more so just to see how raunchy Disney Plus is getting because that's supposed to be the kid's site.
No nudity, but there's definitely
some implied.
Well, I mean, they're the covers are over, but you know what's going on.
All right, yeah, some implied.
So, I mean, like
action.
It honestly feels like a movie, or not movie, but a TV show that's not on Disney Plus. It feels like it's something that's already like
some
on
FX.
Yeah, FX, yeah. I would say like
ABC.
I don't know if you ever saw like some of the stuff that was on the National Geographic or like History Channel where they had
I've seen the History Channel, but Vikings is real.
Where they're like retellings of historical things that happen. It feels like that.
Okay, for sure. Well then, that's interesting. So Bachelorette, The Right Stuff, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Lit. All right, time to get to the review. We're gonna do the draft last, just because it's going to take a while. So,
and then we're still doing Lovecraft first.
Yeah, Lovecraft is first. Then we're going to
Which I thought this was a good episode.
Yeah, this was a great episode. We got a lot of answers to the machine wasn't a time machine. It was a multi-dimensional machine from a couple episodes ago.
Still kind of a time machine.
Still kind of a time machine, but we find out that there's parallel Earths. And I have a theory on how Tick makes it to season 2. Have a theory. We'll get to that in a little bit. Or should I say it now? Because it's about the parallel Earths. I think we're going to get a Tick from another parallel Earth.
Or they bring in a Tick from another parallel Earth to die.
To die. Yeah. To die for this Tick. I feel like that's a possibility. But this episode, we get confirmation. Christina Braithwaite's trying to use all of Tick's blood to become immortal. She tries to save.
But he already gave her the pages, which messes everything up.
If I was Tick, I'd have been more upset at Letty. He didn't say nothing because she has his child in him. But I told my girlfriend watching this episode, Letty went from one of my favorite characters to my least favorite characters. Why was Letty
especially
walking
at the end?
Bro.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that later. Let's get to that later.
Why?
Hold off, because like she was wilding.
She was one of my favorite characters to my least favorite characters in an episode. Hopefully she redeems herself and becomes my favorite character again. But what she did in the last seconds of this episode was absolutely egregious.
I was yelling at the TV.
Absolutely egregious. But damn, felt bad for Montrose. We find out his story in this. This was technically
I thought this was pretty
backstory.
Cool. Yeah. I thought, hearing his backstory was kind of cool, seeing him as like a kid growing up in this, thriving Tulsa community.
Seeing his dad beat him and passed on that trauma of abuse to Tick, and Tick sees that. I think that's important for like the Black community, but even more so communities of fathers and stuff. Like, don't pass on your father's trauma that you got passed on to you. Like, that's just something
I mean, I think it gave Tick
with.
a better understanding
Of his
about like who
dad,
his
yeah.
father was, and even the conversation they had in the alley. He talks about the sacrifices that he made just to be his father.
Yeah,
and I don't think Tick understands that. And
then he finally got it because Montrose sacrificed. Montrose's lover, his first lover, sacrificed himself for Montrose. Got shot in the head.
Yeah, they got brain matter on it.
Brain matter. Yeah, super gross.
But I thought their element.
But we didn't explain why that happened. They went back. Right. They went back in time. They went back in time to get the Book of Names.
Hippolyta comes back out of nowhere.
Yeah, she comes back
with
to
her
save
little
D.
wrist gadgets. And
because she's now enhanced by the space people, and like she's working the multi-dimension. She's a motherboard to control it. I think that's interesting. Motherboard, like mom, very interesting stuff. And she controls it to send them back in time to get the Book of Names, thus to save D. Is it
early on? The sheriff
was it Christina Braithwaite that was supposed to do it, or is it Tick that's gonna do it? Because I didn't. That was kind of confusing to me. Was Christina Braithwaite gonna come back when they got the Book of Names to heal D, or was it gonna be Hippolyta that's gonna save D?
Wait, what?
Who is supposed to save D? Like why? Like who is supposed to use the Book of Names to unbreak the spell of D? Is it Tick, Hippolyta,
probably Tick, because like was it Christina Braithwaite was saying it's got to be his closest relative, and we find out the bombshell that we already kind of thought was that George was probably his father.
Yep.
So that would make D his little sister.
Yeah, I can see him doing it, but Hippolyta seemed like she knew what she was doing. She lived a 1,000. She was out of Earth for 200 years. Crazy. She was out.
She definitely had a different demeanor. That's for sure.
Hippolyta went from one of my least favorite characters to my favorite. This one, she was badass. She kicked ass. Take no
for sure.
I liked it.
Christina Braithwaite definitely doing her little thing around town.
Ruby switching sides,
died.
bro.
Ruby's definitely switched sides. That's
Ruby is letting her love blind her. Like, my God, Christina Braithwaite and Ruby turning evil on us. Like she don't give a fuck about Tick. I saw that coming
from a mile away.
She does not care about Tick at all, and maybe that's just because I like Tick and I'm pro Tick right now. I am not pro Christina Braithwaite and what her and Ruby got going on over there. But like, damn, Ruby switching sides. Like, just don't hurt my sister. You don't even care about Tick, the husband, the father of your nephew. Gosh, cold world. All these women, cold world. They out here just wilding. These women don't give a fuck about none of these men on this show.
But
badass, good for the women. Like it's good to see it. Like they're just scheming.
They're scheming, that's for sure. But yeah, so getting into the back in time stuff, it's it's typical time travel rules. Don't like mess too many things up. Don't.
I love that Tick's apart of Montrose's backstory. Let me say, I love that. That was amazing that there's a man who saves Montrose, Uncle George, and Tick's mom when they're younger, getting attacked by the white gang in the Tulsa riots, because this takes place, like you were saying earlier, in the Tulsa massacre that we saw in Watchmen. And it's interesting to see how they did it differently than Watchmen. I thought it was very, very cool. And then, but the man that ends up saving Montrose and Uncle George and Tick's mom was actually Tick, and I thought that was
very Harry Potter vibes.
Thought it was beautiful. That was very well done. Like I was like damn, fire.
I was totally feeling Harry Potter, like when Montrose is like, just wait, like the dude who comes swinging like Jackie Robinson is about to come save us all.
But it's a callback to when Jackie Robinson saved Tick in his dream.
Yeah, for sure.
Tick's Jackie Robinson. I mean, not really, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So
he did a good job, beating ass. That was over a voiceover. My mom guessed it was Maya Angelou. It could have been. Do you think it was?
I don't know who it was. I wasn't. I don't know.
And simultaneously going on with that was Letty in the house getting the Book of Names, which was a whole weird scene in itself.
The scene was. Oh, first off, are we sure you want to get burned alive? Are we sure? Like, I get when the grandmother realizes she has to die. Cool. You got to accept it for your daughter to live. Cool. But you going to burn it? Like, why not get a gun? I'd have shot myself. I'd asked Letty to shoot me, or I was going to shoot myself. I'm not burning bro, what the fuck was she like? No, fam. No. Big are we sure? Another are we? Letty, why are you just? Hippolyta's about to die, just powering this motherboard, and your ass just
Was walking.
strolling through the fire, through the bombs. Like, yeah, I'm a badass. I'm Letty. I'm invulnerable. I gave up Titus's pages to be invulnerable, not Tick. I don't care about my man, my son's husband. I'm just caring about me. Walking through the fire. Gosh, it upset me so much.
While Tick's over here being like, Hippolyta, you can do it. Like, you gotta do it for your daughter. Like, keep it open. And I'm like yelling at the TV. I'm like, girl, move! Like, what are you doing?
I was like, let Hippolyta die. That's on you, Letty. That's on you for walking. Like, yeah, I'm a badass. I'm a.
I hope they go back into that. Like, I hope in the next episode they talk about it. Like, I hope Hippolyta's like,
bitch, why
crashed or something,
yeah.
or like, and then they're like, Montrose is like, yeah, Letty was just walking down the street.
Montrose already don't like her because she sacrificing Tick. Like, yeah, Tick, that bitch just was walking down the street. Oh, shit. That was fire.
Like that conversation that they had where he was like, yeah, you just don't understand until, like, you actually have the kid. Because she's like, oh, yeah, whatever.
she didn't give a fuck. But the finale looks crazy. I'm excited to see. They look like they're going to start fighting magic with magic. Tick looks like he's about to get his own magic up. Hopefully he doesn't die, man.
So you're thinking this is the autumnal equinox in this next episode?
Yeah, the next episode is the final one, the autumnal equinox. I think Montrose might sacrifice himself for Tick. That's what they've been building up all season. And usually the most obvious thing is what happens. So I expect that. I've been going out of the box, but that's why I think the D getting the robot arm, that's happening. I'm 100% believing that's happening. When I called that last week, I was like, even more so finding out that her mother is a motherboard and has all these secret powers and knows all this shit. She getting a robot arm. That's a fact.
For sure. That's happening. I thought it was going to happen in this episode when her mom came back.
Yep.
When her mom came back and they started doing all that stuff where they like fixed her or whatever.
I thought they was going to go to like a parallel Earth where they have like
when all those maggots came on her arm, I was like, oh, this arm's just falling off.
Yeah, it's over with. It's done with. Let's get her a robot arm and call that a day. But yeah, solid episode with Lovecraft. Super, super solid. Let's get to the boys.
The boys,
man. Best show on TV. I took some notes when on my second read through. I didn't take notes on everything, but like I know everything that happened. First off, can I say that my theory was about when you're watching the show up until the end, you're like, damn, Lynn's theory might be right. Up until the final seconds, it was like it went all the way up to like 99% win chance. And then the Falcons fumble the onside kick, and then it flip-flops to a whole nother section. It was just like, damn. But are we talking about that first? Are we talking about the heads blown off? Are we going to talk about that?
No, we're going to say, I think we should go chronological.
Okay. All right.
If you can.
Well, but see, the thing is, the first thing I wrote down, the senator lady, when she's talking about the stuff inside of with the vice president or the president's secretary, and she was like, well, all of Vaught's people did all the superheroes. They were trying to plan a coup and whatnot. And she specifies like the certain superheroes that like only certain ones. And then that goes back to the church about how their connection later, how she knew that she was planning to kill. Well, I mean, I have to say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The senator lady is the head blower upper. She is a superhero. And in the beginning, when she is talking with Mallory to the whatever that guy
Which I thought Mallory died.
No,
she apparently her chief of staff.
It was, yep. And she's talking about, oh, yeah, the Vought superheroes died. It was only one, and I think that was on purpose due to her conversation with the church. I think the church asked her to kill that speedster so A-Train could go back into the 7.
Agreed.
I think that was supposed to happen initially, and they didn't foresee Stormfront, which we will get to, and that leads us back to chronological. One of the moments I loved was Maeve calling Huey a twink. That was hilarious. I was like, Maeve, going hardcore. Maeve said, I'll bust you in half, little boy. I was like, oh, Queen Maeve. Queen Maeve's fed up, got her bong on the table, doing all kind of drugs, just getting fucked up. She don't got time for none of your shit, Starlight, bitch ass. But then A-Train, which I loved, A-Train took his fate in his own hands. And I wrote that this episode was people who got tired of getting shit on taking their fate in their own hands. That's why when you say it feels like a show ender, it does. This episode, we see A-Train take his fate in his own hands. We see Kimiko take her fate in her own hands. We see Rebecca take her fate into her own hands. We see Butcher,
Billy, in a sense, yeah.
Butcher take his fate into his own hands. Huey takes his fate into his own hands. And those are mainly the five.
Queen Maeve.
Oh, and Maeve, yes. Maeve, 1,000%. And Maeve and Starlight kind of the whole season, but Maeve more so. Those are the six that really are like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done playing along to the rules. And A-Train does that because of a conversation he heard with Mr. Edgar and the head of the church. Mr. Edgar was like, look, bro, Stormfront don't fuck with black people. And they were being, at first they were hiding it. Now they're just being blatant. Like, this episode was like, if you don't think Stormfronts are racist, we're going to show you this episode. Like, we're going balls to the wall. We're showing you. And Mr. Edgar was like, yeah, I don't really fuck with her, but, like, business is business. And Alistair's like, all right, well, can you accept the deep? And he's like, yeah. And it was like, all right, cool. Boom. So right now, tentatively, Deep's back in the 7. A-Train's out. But A-Train steals some information because Mr. Edgar's like, wasn't Stormfront inside of the church, something we talked about. Stormfront was. The church had information on her. A-Train gives that information to Huey and Starlight, which thus gives it to Butcher. They post it online. Stormfront's done. Taken down. Nazi. She walks in the vault. Everybody's like, ugh, Nazi, bitch. Get away from me. And everybody's like, whoa, fuck you. Then it's time for Becca pops up at the boys because Homelander has her son. I thought the Homelander son stuff was very endearing.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was interesting stuff because, like, you could tell that Homelander, like, wants to be a good father to an extent, where Stormfront was kind of pushing him to be like, we gotta like make this kid our super soldier.
Yeah,
where I feel like
he wasn't really about that. Also, I may be wrong, but I think this episode showed that Homelander's not truly a racist Nazi like Stormfront. No. When she was talking about that white supremacy shit, and Homelander was looking at her like, bitch, what are you talking about right now to my kid? But we've also found out that Homelander is addicted to the fame. He loves the Atom, like more so than like how Stormfront was powered by racism and hate. Homelander is praised by the egotistical ego he has built, and he needs endearing fans. So that's why some may say, is him seeking his son's love to feel that need of like want in his life, or was that serious? I think it was serious, like you said.
Yeah, I think it was serious. I think like he ultimately thinks that everyone wants to love him. So he wants to get that love out of everyone. And also that he does see his son as the ability to like be a better him, I suppose. But not necessarily like he wants him to be like a better him. He just wants him to be like him.
And more so have a better childhood than he did. Homelander was kind of fucked up for a while. And I mean, he still is. But like, his son doesn't want him to turn out like him. And I thought that was endearing. And then the boys get the location of them. They have a cool plan how to take out Stormfront. They do this little radar. They do like this little sonar thing. They get the kid. Bro, first thing I wrote down. Why the hell, if you're one of those soldiers who are coming to get the kid, why are you standing up to Homelander? Big mistake. Black dude.
Yeah, why are you putting your gun? Why are you putting your gun up to Homelander?
I'd have been like, look, Homelander. I'd have been like, look, Homelander, take this up with Mr. Edgar. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm out. I'm out. You can beam all of these dudes. I'll tell you everything I know from that Mr. Edgar said. Just let me live. He might have beamed my ass at the end, but I was going to try. I was damn sure going to try. But I also wrote down this. The reason how Butcher got that information is because he made a deal with Mr. Edgar. And I think the conversation with Butcher and Mr. Edgar was one of the best conversations ever. When Mr. Edgar's like, it's not ruthless, it's price per share. He's like, it's not about me, it's about business. When Mr. Butcher has anything in history been different about business, it was just like bomb after bomb after. Giancarlo Esposito just killed it, man. That was amazing. I was like, yeah, like, and it's awesome because we got to see how badass of Butcher was last episode when he went against Vogelbaum and he talked to his dad. And I think this is Edgar's not scared of Butcher. Butcher can do all that bravado, like whatever. Edgar got 3 snipers pointed at your head, partner, so you can kill me. You're going to die too, playboy. And I'm not upset about it.
That's the thing about like the finale is like everyone's considering like Stormfront going down, like being the big bad of the season. I think the big bad of the season is Giancarlo Esposito, and like
Yeah.
that's where like things get set up for like season 3, like with him and the politician lady. I feel like we're gonna, like what you're saying to your wire point, which I'll let you get to, and I'll just add that point on later. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna transition into a different
A
sort
different
of
phase. Yeah. Like
different phase of the boys.
1000%. And we see all of that happening this season. I feel like this arc ends. The Becca the introduction to the arc of Butcher's involved in this because his wife got raped by Homelander and took from him. That arc is closed.
That's over.
That arc is finished. Now the question
Huey's arc is over.
Huey's arc is over. Yeah, the Robin
Mother's
stuff.
Milk arc is pretty much over.
All of their arcs are.
Frenchie and Kimiko is still a little bit open.
I mean,
but his for the most part is over.
Kimiko's arc's over. She killed Stormfront. She got her revenge, and we'll get to that too. I think for the most part, all of their arcs. I mean, Vaught's not technically down, and overall, that's the overall mission. But the opening arcs of everybody are closed. This is why this feels show ending almost. But they leave enough strings to get to where we're going in the future. But something else that so after the conversation, Mr. Edgar, fire. Also, Vought is the fact that Vought is actively looking to make a Homelander deterrence. That's coming. I don't know if that's Soldier Boy. I don't know if that's something else, but that's coming. Mr. Edgar wasn't even concerned about losing that little kid. That tells me they have something in stock. Like, he was like, that's the cards I'm dealt with. like okay, Mr. Edgar, I see you out here, Giancarlo. Just like you said, the real big bad of the overall show is not Stormfront. Stormfront was the season bad. She is not. Her plans to make a Nazi soldier army, Mr. Edgar wasn't letting that go down. Mr. Edgar was not letting that shit go down.
And at the end of the day, we know that Mr. Edgar he knew. I mean, he knew these things.
He knew she was a Nazi, and he said he only put up with her because Compound V got brought out to the media. And he was like, well, if we want to raise our stock, we got to make everybody want Compound V. And the only way to do that is to make people mad and to cause a stir among the internet, which Stormfront was doing, which is their ode to our Earth right now, which is very smart. The way that they parallel our Earths with just how Twitter works and everything. But that goes back to that episode where that dude was watching Stormfront media all day, ties in. Everything they did was a puzzle piece that made this season phenomenal. But yeah, I think Mr. Edgar's conversation with Butcher is one that closes things, but also one that opens up to like, we're not even to like the meat of the fight. The fight's still going. Because until Edgar's scared of Butcher, we ain't won shit yet. So, but they find out where the kid is. Homelander loses the kid. Butcher takes him. And then also, are we sure? Becca, they put you in the car with Mother's Milk. Fucking Butcher said leave. You was like, no, and trying to hug and kiss instead of going. That's the reason why your ass died. Because you didn't leave when Butcher told you, and you allowed Stormfront to catch up, flip your car, and then get all up in your shit. That's why she died. It was her fault. I'm not blaming it on what happened. It was her fault because she didn't want to leave when they told her to. And when the car flips, when Stormfront confronts him and Mother's Milk driving away, I was like, damn, I know they didn't just kill Mother's Milk right now. I was pissed.
I was the most worried about.
I was pissed. I was like, I know y'all just didn't kill Mother's Milk, one of my favorite characters, after he just told Butcher to suck on his big black balls. I love that. I love that dude. I was like, yeah, he's the only person besides Mr. Edgar that stands up to Butcher. And you got to have someone that does that. And I was like, damn, I hope they didn't kill him. They didn't kill him. And then boom, Butcher goes run with the kid and Becca to escape. And it's Mother's Milk, Huey, Frenchie, Kimiko, and Starlight confronting the Nazi.
In the battle with Stormfront, I feel like Starlight really isn't that powerful. Like,
it was Kimiko.
Oh yeah, Kimiko did most of the heavy lifting, and of course Queen Maeve had to come in.
Well, we didn't even get to, but yeah, Queen Maeve. It's Queen Maeve and Kimiko that whoops her ass.
Yeah, and Kimiko kind of shows like her invulnerability, where she gets her neck snapped and
she's like
able to recover. Yeah, pretty much.
She recovers herself. But I thought that was awesome. She was like, "I'm gonna stick my foot in your Nazi kitty," and we hear her laugh for the first time. I love her and Frenchie's relationship, and then I love in the comics it's the boys that stomp out Stormfront, and I love that it's reversed in this one. It's because it's a female. We get Queen Maeve. I think it works beautiful that it's Queen Maeve, Starlight, and Kimiko, because honestly, in comic book land, yeah, I could believe Butcher and Huey and them stomped out Stormfront in a comic book. But in this shit, I'm not buying that Huey, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk stomped out Stormfront. How? Yeah, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, these dudes can't do shit." And I was like, "Yeah, watch. That's when they get zapped." I was like, "They're lucky they didn't die in that explosion."
Facts. Yeah, I mean, the women really did hold the power
Girls
for
do.
that fight.
What was their little motto?
Uh,
Girls can kick out. I forget.
I
Frenchie says
forgot.
it. Girls can do it, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Whatever it was, that was an ode to that, to the real girl. Oh, girls get shit done, or girls get it done.
Girls get it done.
Yeah,
That's what it
girls
is.
get it done. Well, yeah, them girls got it done, and they jumped Stormfront, was whooping her ass, and then she bolts off. She leaves after Queen Maeve, Kimiko, and Starlight kick her ass. She goes to Butcher and Becca and the kid. Butcher is trying to shoot her. Not working. Them bullets not working. But shout out to Becca. Becca stabs her in the eye, takes her eye out, which is comic book accurate. Not Becca doesn't do it, but it's someone else. Stabs her, takes her eye out, and then she's choking Becca's ass. And already Homelander was trying to teach Ryan how to use his powers, and he told him to hate. And Ryan was like, "I don't hate anybody." Well, you hate the woman who tried to kill your mom, and boom, zapped her ass. And I was like, damn, Stormfront, Dunsky. So Homelander knew he could have killed that bitch. He just didn't try, unless Ryan's stronger than Homelander. That's the two.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that Ryan may have, maybe. But
Homelander might have toned down his beams. You think? Or you think he was going all out during the sex?
I don't think he was going all out. I guess maybe he was toning it down, but like I thought that she wanted. That was my thing. Like when the kid was about to do it, I was like, well, can't she like withstand some of that?
But that goes back to my point of when Homelander was talking like he knew a way to kill her. That goes back to that point that I was trying to make earlier this season. But Ryan ends up killing Stormfront, in turn killing his mom. Becca dies. Becca's chapter's over. She asks Butcher to take care of the boy. Butcher starts to go away with the boy. Homelander comes and confronts him. And it's like, yo, you got to come to me, Ryan. Then boom, Queen Maeve. Double save. This is why Queen Maeve said, I ain't taking no more shit. I'm doing Queen Maeve. I talked so much shit on last episode. I got to apologize to Queen Maeve this episode. She took her fate into her own hands. She stopped being a victim. And she was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to dish out some pain. And she shows the video to Homelander like, no, you're going to let the kid go. You're going to come with me, and we're going to go clean up this Stormfront shit, and you're not going to hurt me, Starlight, or this kid ever again. If you do, I'm releasing this. And that goes back to the point that if Homelander wasn't addicted to the fame, he wouldn't have cared. If it was about power and about taking over the world, he wouldn't have cared. It's about being loved. It's about what you said, about the addiction to the fame and the love of having everybody love him and him being America's superstar and America's hero. That's what Homelander's about, and he showed it this episode. That's why when he was crying, he wasn't crying because he was losing his son. He was crying because if he didn't go, he was going to lose his fucking fame. 1,000%. I thought Homelander was brilliant in this episode. I thought Anthony Starr gave an amazing performance as Homelander. When he's crying with the blood on his face like, fuck you, Butcher, I'm going to get your ass back. Don't you worry. It was just like, Queen Maeve's like, no, you're not, bitch. Let's go. We got to go. And I was like, yeah, Queen Maeve. Nice.
Yeah, I kind of, really saved her as a character through the first 2 seasons of the show, really.
She was like,
She's just like, whatever.
Also, Black Noir, it might
alive.
be a vegetable. He's alive, but he might be brain dead. We don't know yet. I think he's going to make it out. Black Noir is going to be a zombie.
He's either going to make it out or they're going to kill him and then bring in the teeth.
Yeah, maybe. One of those. I could see that happening too. So the episode ends. Homelander, Queen Maeve, Starlight, they give a speech talking about how Stormfront's a Nazi and how Queen Maeve and Starlight saved Homelander and had his back. He apologized to Starlight. Also, Starlight has the costume she always wanted. She's not wearing that bullshit anymore because now her and Queen Maeve are in charge, baby. They're getting shit done that they want. Starlight's like, I'm not leaving the 7. I'm going to get shit done inside. How do you feel? Her and Huey are together again. How do you feel about that? Because you didn't like their relationship.
I feel like that's inevitable.
Yeah.
I mean, I really only didn't like it because it felt like it was toxic on both ends.
Yeah.
Like,
it's still kind of toxic, but I mean, it might be better now. Who knows?
Whatever.
We'll see. Yeah, Huey's back in there. I don't like anything Huey's doing in the scene. Huey is becoming one of my least favorite characters, but that's just because we know what he's walking himself into.
But I do like the prospect of what he's going into in season 3, where he's going to be like where he's going to stand on his own, but he's also going to be a part of this like political machine, part of this next season, which, you know.
But out of everybody, it makes sense. Like, we're not in, out of everybody that can investigate that, it's got to be Huey. And I think it's going to work because Butcher's going to believe Huey when Huey inevitably finds out that the Senator's a soup. And that's going to happen. I don't know if we get closure on that in season 3 or season 4, but I think Huey finds out in season 3.
For sure, for sure.
And it's going to be interesting how to take down the Czar, because she and Mallory are now in charge of the soup hunting operation. They're the boys officially on the books again. And Butcher now works for the CIA once again, him and his whole team. They're now back to how they were originally, and they're going to be investigating soups and stuff. And I think that's going to be interesting now that they have their power back.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's going to be like the new phase of the show, you know, kind of thinking about where we're at now. You know, it's going to be fighting Vought and Giancarlo Esposito, eventually fighting this politician lady. And, you know, we're going to see more soups come into the fold. So we'll figure out what's to come.
I think the Ryan arc is closed with Becca dying. I think the Ryan arc is closed for now because Ryan goes with Mallory. I think in season 4, that's when they bring that back. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Ryan in the next season.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that actor ever again. The kid who plays him. I could see
we get a new actor. He ages up. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I think season 4, like some shit happens, they age him up, and
they've been training him.
And they've been season 4, season 5. I think that's what's gonna happen if The Boys makes it that long. I don't think we see Ryan anymore. At least this actor, like you said, Schubert. I think that arc is closed. Also, what
would be interesting too is if, I don't know how they want to do that spinoff show. If they're going to do it like
they put him in there,
what's been going on. Yeah, if they put him in there,
that's interesting.
But I feel like it'd be way too much to accomplish. But that's just one theory.
Nah, I like that. That is a good possible theory. Also, when we're talking about the senator lady, she calls the church guy. They talk about their plans to take out whoever they were and how the Deep's back in the 7 and how they have a connection. But
A-Train's back in the 7, not the Deep.
Yeah, A-Train. But the senator lady has to cut all loose ends. Who knows who she is? And boom, church guy out of here. Fuck Fresca. No more Frescas. So the church was a plot device for this season. Funny. I'm very interested to see where we go from here, because the church was a plot device. I thought we're going to get more into that, but it was the reverse. We're going to get more into the politics next season, which I think is going to be interesting because Victoria Newman's based off of this character, Victor Newman, in the comics, which gets into this whole conspiracy of what the politics are. This reminds me of The Wire, where in one season of The Wire, we're going over the Barksdales, but then we see how the world is, how Baltimore is affected by, we saw from the police and the crime, and then we see from the politics arena and how that affects the crime and the Barksdale. So I think the boys are transitioning out of the quote unquote, we're fighting superheroes, to now we're still going to be fighting superheroes, but it's more so how the political angle is allowing this shit to happen. And we're going to see the other side of it. While still fighting
more so fighting, like, you know, concrete superheroes. You're fighting like the ideals being pushed by the people in power.
Yep.
And superheroes.
We're still gonna fight superheroes underground as the boys, but it's more so we got this whole new thing to unravel, because we unraveled Vaught's problems. We know Vought Compound V. We know how the founder of Vought did. We know all the shitty shit Vaught's doing. But who allowed Vought to do this? And that's what we're digging into next season. Super, super excited for that. Also, the creator said that he told us who the head exploding person was the first time it happened. When you look in the first time when the CIA lady's head explodes, they introduced Victoria Newman right after that. So a little ode to that. Also, Soldier Boy is coming in. They said don't expect Jensen Ackles to be a good guy. He was Homelander before Homelander. He's coming in to do PR control. We're not Nazis anymore. We're getting the OG Nazi killer. So, and he's from a different era. He's going to be very brash. It's going to be very interesting to see Jensen Ackles tackle this. It's going to be interesting to see how he's alive. Is he a clone? Is he the real one? What's it going to be?
An actor.
Tying with that? Yeah, an actor. Yeah. So what's it going to be? So is he going to be a Trojan horse? Is it going to be real? Season 3, man. I need
Robot.
I need it.
Android.
I need it. They're going to film. The script's already done. They're going to film beginning of 2021. Hopefully we get it by the end of 2021. So
Yes, we need it.
anything else you got on the finale?
Not really, man. I think we pretty much covered it all, but I think that this season 2 was better than season 1 for
It
sure.
was, yeah, it was. It definitely was. And I think this season solidified it as the best superhero show out and the best show on TV right now.
Yeah, I think so.
So, all right, let's get into our draft. Do you have a coin?
No, I don't have one.
You don't have a coin? Let's see if I have one by me.
Let's see if there's hold on. There's definitely a coin flipping thing on Google.
Oh, you're gonna coin flipping thing on Google? I think I have an actual. Oh, I do have an actual coin. Okay, right here. Boom. Okay, so do you want heads or tails?
Heads.
All right. Ooh, it is tails.
All right.
That means I get picked first. Nice. Okay.
All right. Want to both go over like our kind of like our template?
Yeah. Go. You go ahead. List it off.
I'm pretty sure, like with the template here, I want to lean into Tarantino wanting to explore space, but I want to do it in more of like a space western kind of thing, similar to what we got going with The Mandalorian, Cowboy Bebop, Firefly. You know, I want like his essential, ship crew, and then a planet base. I don't know if it's going to take place on multiple planets or anything. It's not really real, so it's not something I've thought out too hard. But I'm more thinking like one of my main characters here is like a Zap Brannigan kind of guy.
Okay. Well, I wanted to do a space western, but I could rebound on the fly. Because like that's what I was thinking as well, but we're not gonna both do the same thing. So I
feel like our characters are gonna be different.
Oh, for sure. Well, mine could either be a space western or it could be. No, I'm gonna just do space western too. Because I was doing it in a vibe of Cowboy Bebop, but very crime oriented. Mine is more crime oriented and like about more Reservoir Dogs crime. Like they're bounty hunters essentially, that type of shit. But let's draft our characters. We're both drafting space western. My first pick, the main actor of my Quentin Tarantino film. I have to pick him first off. He was my guy because I want. But see, nah. I'm not doing the space western because you're doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm going with my idea that I had at first because I'm going with John David Washington to do a crime movie set in our world in the 90s. What does Quentin Tarantino do? Does pop culture very well, but we've seen him do LA. We're taking it and doing in New York around the time of hip hop and all of that stuff being made. And we're going to have a majority black cast, but we're going to have white actors in it. But the main actor he's focusing on is John David Washington. That is my lead actor in this movie.
Yeah, I'm not really going by lead actor or stuff like that because, some of the guys that I want to put in there are names that I really don't think that you're going to consider, especially in a lead actor role. But someone that I definitely want to secure for my film is one of my first reoccurring characters, and I want to get Christoph Waltz.
Ooh, I didn't even want Christoph Waltz.
I'm going to go ahead and secure him into the thing. I feel like he's done some good work with Tarantino. I feel like some of his characters are my favorite in the Tarantino verse.
Okay.
And I feel like it needs to be a new age Tarantino. You're going to need Christoph Waltz somewhere.
I got you. Well, I'm going to secure my guy then. This was one of the guys that I left floating up, but because because you chose Christoph Waltz, I don't believe you're going to take the person that I want that's my reoccurring all the time. But this person has reoccurred. It's my second reoccurring. And he's an A-lister. He's worked with Quentin Tarantino twice before, both times arguably some of his best work. I'm going with Brad Pitt.
All right.
The partner cop person, or either the partner in crime or the cop partner to John David Washington. I just don't know if they're going to be crime people or cops. I'm leaning more towards detectives.
The next guy I have on the list has been in a Tarantino film before. I wouldn't say he's a reoccurring character for Tarantino, but he's a guy that I feel like we both respect pretty highly, and it's Michael Fassbender.
Nice. I like that. Okay, yeah, you're not going to take my people. I'm excited. This is lit. Okay, so next, this is pick 3. So
Yeah.
right now, I'm gonna add a lady to my list. I'm gonna add she is probably one of my favorite actresses. She is she's in my top 2 favorite actresses of all time. I'm adding Regina King to a Quentin Tarantino movie. I think Regina King would fit well in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
That's a good one. I'm gonna stay with some of the females. I'm gonna go with my crazy wild card here, the one that I saw that was supposedly supposed to be cast in a Tarantino film, and when I saw the name, I was like, really? Well, that could actually be really interesting if you give him the shot to be in a Tarantino film, and it's Charlie Day.
Ooh, Charlie Day. Yeah, he was supposed to
Charlie,
be in Once Upon a Time in
Once Upon a
Hollywood.
Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be what's his name? Charlie
Charlie
Manson.
Manson, yeah.
But Quentin Tarantino said that he was, he would be distracting because of the fact that he was such a big character for a small role.
Yep.
And I feel like that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't want him a part of his films.
Yeah.
And I think he has a lot of respect for what he does as an actor. So I feel like it'd be interesting to put him in.
I like that. Adding some comedical flair, because Quentin Tarantino always has some comedical flair in his stuff. I like that. Okay. I'm getting one more actress secured, and this is like my big 4. Amy Adams. I had to do it when you didn't take her. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta have Regina King, Brad Pitt, John David, and Amy Adams. Now I'm going smaller actors after this. I just had to get my big 4.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is stuck in the smaller game, and I also wanted to put in some younger talent in there.
Okay, I got you.
One of my females I'm gonna do, and this is another character that's been in the Quentin Tarantino verse. And I'd say probably the standout of the Hateful Eight, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Ooh, okay.
Is going to be one of my females here, and I don't know if she's going to play a human.
Ooh, okay. I like that. All right, bet. All right, next up. Well, I might as well do my second Quentin Tarantino actor who I didn't want you to take. With my pick number 5, I'm taking Quentin Tarantino's arguably his favorite actor to work with besides himself. He has been in The Hateful Eight. He was in Reservoir Dogs. He was in Pulp Fiction. I'm going with Tim Roth. Love Tim Roth. Wanted Tim Roth. That was my guy. It just brings this classic Tarantino vibes.
For me wanting to do the whole Western element, there were a couple of people that I was trying to choose between. And, I want to keep with some older guys here, as well as some of the younger people I'm going to throw in the second half of the 10. And here I'm going to put in Josh Brolin.
Ooh, like that. I like that a lot. Josh Brolin works well with this. Because mine takes place in either a Western or it takes place in New York in the 90s. I'm going with, at my 6th pick, I need a strong black cast as well. Got a lot of whiteys in here right now. So I'm going with Yahya Abdul-Mateen with my 6th pick.
That's a good one.
That's a good. Right now we're building it out.
I feel like and what's going to be a sort of a theme here as well with some of my other picks is that Quentin Tarantino likes to revitalize a few people's careers, especially if they've fallen off, and then bring them back. More so with like Kurt Russell. When he brought back Kurt Russell for The Hateful Eight, that Kurt Russell started getting a little bit more films. Someone that we haven't seen in a while, and we also did a really good job in a Tarantino film that I feel like he would want to bring back is Lucy Liu.
Ooh,
and I want to bring in Lucy Liu.
Funny that you say that, because I needed an older black actor to be in Quentin Tarantino, but it's not Sam Jackson. And you said revitalizing careers. I was thinking along the same way. He wanted to revitalize this dude's career. He wanted to make him a star. He wrote the role for Jules for him, but he turned it down, didn't take it. I'm talking about Larry Fishburne. I'm talking about Lawrence Fishburne. I want Lawrence Fishburne to come in this Quentin Tarantino movie. They've always wanted to work together. Quentin Tarantino thinks he's one of the best actors. He thinks he's the best actor since Brando. Like, he thinks he's a second coming of Marlon Brando. They were been supposed to work together. But Larry Fishburne, I'm going with Lawrence Fishburne to be in the movie. That's my 7th pick. What's your 7th pick?
My 7th pick? I'm going to go female young here. I had a few in here, and I was thinking about like Dakota Fanning or Chloe Grace Moretz, but someone who is super young Hollywood, and he gave a really big opportunity. That she did an okay job in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but a better job in Stranger Things. I want to add the young Maya Hawke into my cast.
Oh, okay. His one of his longtime collaborators' daughter.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that. I like where you're headed. And I need some youth along my cast as well. I need a young black actor to come in, a young black guy to do his thing. We got Yahya Abdul-Mateen, we got Lawrence Fishburne, we got John David Washington, but we need some youth in here. And I'm not choosing Caleb McLaughlin, Miles, none of these dudes. I'm not choosing them. That wouldn't be the way to do this. I'm choosing from the get down. He's been an actor. He was Spider-Man. I'm choosing Shameik Moore.
Okay, yeah, I like Shameik Moore.
Shameik Moore. I think he's good enough to do this type of work, and I think he'll make a good young guy role in this movie.
I kind of wish I would have added Shameik Moore. I'm a big fan.
Shameik Moore's a good actor, man.
Here's my first really Adam person that I'm putting in there. One of the people that I want to have in there as a main character is someone that I feel like has underperformed, or I guess his agent has underperformed in casting him in things. I feel like he's been in a lot of really goofy stuff, but I feel like he's kind of got some of the chops that Tarantino could work with to really get the best out of him in my opinion, the first time. And it's James Marsden.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like James Marsden.
I want him to be like this Zap Brannigan kind of think about his character in Westworld where he's like the hero, but he's also shitty because dies all the time. But
I like that. Hell yeah. Okay. I got you. Now I've kind of gotten to my point where I'm going to add my comedy into here. And first off, an actor that Quentin Tarantino has worked with before, but I didn't want to use him as someone he's worked with. But it just shows that he would work with this guy again. And I think in an old black man role in some form of fashion in this, bringing jokes. I'm going with Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, okay.
Chris Tucker. He's worked with Tarantino before, and I think he could add some good humor to this movie.
One more female I want to add in here. I thought she did a terrific job in Inglourious Bastards. And I wanted to bring her back for a Tarantino film. She played Shoshana.
Oh, I thought
Melanie Laurent.
I was gonna go with Diane Kruger. Yeah, I almost did, but when you didn't take Amy Adams, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna pick Diane Kruger when I can take Amy Adams." Like, what are we talking about? And my last person, my 10th pick, is to add some more humor. I figure this guy would be a cop or some form of fashion in this. Danny McBride. Danny McBee, you got Charlie Day. I had to get someone funny equally. I was thinking John C. O'Reilly in this part, but I wanted to go.
He's been considered before.
I wanted to go someone younger, someone who is becoming like an auteur and not just being slapstick humor. Danny McBride. I think he's a young guy who can do some good comedy humor in there.
And let's see. I guess Waltz counts as my reoccurring. I have a bunch of people who equal up to a lot of reoccurrings, but they've all been in one or two. So do you think I should add one that has?
It's up to you.
More than one.
Uma Thurman's still around. Sam Jack's still around.
Well, I mean, yeah, I have other people on this list that haven't been in there before that I really want to add. Some people who definitely aren't going to make it in there that I was considering, and could still probably be in it if that was the case, like a Timothy Olyphant. Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, Timothy Olyphant was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Which, but I mean, small.
Yeah, small.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Thought about Mads.
Who else did I have in here that I was thinking about? I mentioned that I had Dakota Fanning and Chloe Grace. But there's three people on here that I'm really trying to choose between. And I'm going to go with the big one and say that he's going to be one of my lead characters here. I'm going to go with Tom Hardy.
Ooh, nice. Okay. I like Tom H. Our movies are interesting, man. All right, that's our 10th pick. Let's get an honorable mention just cause. And it can be however big you want. I'll let you go first.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage is your 11th?
Yeah.
For real? You being dead ass?
That was who I was choosing between Nick Cage, Tom Hardy, and I feel like Nick Cage is. I think he's about to have a Nick Cage-a-sons. With like the movies that he's been putting out, and he's about to have that movie where he plays himself. I feel like Quentin Tarantino, especially in my film, is going to take like a big comedic approach, and in a lot of ways, I feel like a lot of the people that I've added in could be an alien character, and I feel like Nick Cage could fit that bill.
Okay, my final person, and I was gonna say him earlier, but I chose not to, and I'm glad that I waited because I think this person just brings it over the top, and he would have a decent sized role. But I'm going with Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a good enough actor, and I think him and Tarantino can make some magic. He can do comedy. He can do that Al Pacino role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where he was like an executive. He can do the small role that's like in let's see. I'm trying to think of another movie like Inglourious Bastard, how Mike Myers was in it. He can do one of those small where we're like, yo, that's Robert Downey Jr. in a Quentin Tarantino movie. So yeah, that's our final ones. All right, let's go over our cast.
There was only one other person I had left in my list, and it was Shia.
Oh, Shia, nice. All right, let's go. I'm surprised none of us said Adam Driver. Neither of us took Leo or Denzel. I took Denzel's son. I wasn't gonna take Denzel.
Leo has done his Tarantino thing, and I feel like it's for Leo. It's like let's do the next thing. Denzel? I didn't really picture Denzel in a Tarantino film.
It'd have to be a very
but
specific
I could more
one.
so see John David be in it. It would have to be very specific. And what was the other name that
Adam
you said?
Driver.
I don't see him being in a Tarantino film.
I see him being more so in a Scorsese film than a Tarantino film.
Yeah, which he has been in a Scorsese film.
Yeah, he has. All right, let's go over our list again. You give him your movie cast that you would have Quentin Tarantino with.
Yeah, I have Christoph Waltz, Michael Fassbender, Charlie Day, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Josh Brolin, Lucy Liu, Maya Hawke, James Marsden, Melanie Laurent, Tom Hardy, and Nick Cage.
I have John David Washington, Brad Pitt, Regina King, Amy Adams, Tim Roth, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Lawrence Fishburne, Shameik Moore, Chris Tucker, Danny McBride, and Robert Downey Jr. Solid list. I like both of our casts. If I had to add one more person, it like how you said you would do who'd you just after Shia LaBeouf, I would add another lady in there. I like the girl from Lady Bird. I forget her name, but I feel like her role would be too small. I was thinking Zoe Kravitz too.
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan. I was thinking Zoe Kravitz too. Some young female, maybe a Zendaya, actually, Journey Smollett-Bell. Done. She's been killing it. I like her. She could do it in this.
Except she needs to pick up the pace.
Yeah, she can't be walking around.
Killing
people, but that's all we got this week, Schubert. I like our draft. Next week, we're thinking about doing, if we have enough time, we got some action movie stuff, either the best action movie ever tournament, March Madness style, or we're going to draft the top assassins / secret agents / people like that to save us. If we were,
I think we might have enough time because now we lose the boys, we get Lovecraft's finale, and after that we're gonna be having another week before we even get a chance to get into the Mando. So
yep. So we might be on an action movie trend where we do a tournament and draft our action movie squad to complete a mission or save our lives. One of those things. And no superheroes. It can be anybody, but can't be a superhero.
So you want to do the characters and not the actors?
Yeah, the characters. Like Jason Bourne, John Wick, James Bond. If you choose James Bond, I got to know which one. And once James Bond is taken, no James Bond, no other. Like if you choose Craig, I can't go choose Brosnan. Or if I choose what's
now a counter to your superhero argument. Would you count Black Widow?
No, she doesn't count. She's a superhero.
She's not a superhero.
She's a superhero, bro. She doesn't count. She does not count. Go take Scarlett Johansson as Ghost in the Shell. Go take her as Major.
That's not a bad one.
And that's what I'm saying. If you want to take Scarlett Jo, she has other secret agents you could be. Go take Lucy.
That's what I'd say, Lucy.
Like, you can't choose Black Widow's a superhero at the end of the day. She has toys. Like, can't take Black Widow.
James Bond's got toys.
James Bond is not a superhero, bro. What are we talking about? Black Widow, sure, we can count Black Widow if you want. I'm not choosing her.
I'm just joking. I'm just trying to be like.
Does Hawkeye count?
See, that's where it gets a little
That's
sketchy,
why
so, yeah.
no superheroes. So no Black Widow, no Hawkeye. Shit, then that means Nick Fury would count. And then what are we doing? Does Captain America count?
No, he's got superpowers.
But he's not like he's a secret agent.
No, he's got a cape. We're not cape, but he's got a suit and a mask.
True. But
Black Widow doesn't have a mask.
Black Widow does not have a mask. All right, but Hawkeye counts for my argument, so that's why I'm no superhero. So, but we'll be getting to that all in due time, my friend. But this was a solid episode. I like our class. I really do. We're gonna have to draft like a Scorsese movie at some point because I like this little exercise, and I think we'll get better as we do them. But yeah, I'm digging it. So yeah, that's all we got. I'm glad you didn't take Tim Roth though, because that's who I was gunning for.
Yeah, I just don't know if Tim Roth would fit my vibe.
I was gunning for Tim Roth, if it's a sci-fi western or if it's a 90s crime movie in the New York hip hop era. Both would work. If it was a sci-fi, he would be one of like the assassins that are come and try to get the bounty hunters, John David Washington and Brad Pitt. And Regina King and Amy Adams are two badass.
The one person I was thinking about also, since he wanted to do the Star Trek deal, was Chris Pine. That was going to be like my intertwine with James Marsden, but James Marsden has been in such like poo-poo movies that he's like he really needs the opportunity to be in like a Tarantino film. I mean, like Sonic, Jesus.
That would help James Marsden's career. I think you went for more people like that. And then I went with the heavy. You didn't go with as many heavy hitters. You went with some more low key names.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
but that's all we got this week, man. That's all we got. That's all I got. Solid week.
All right. Well, that wraps things up for the week. Go ahead and tell everyone what's going on with the network.
All right, new anime talk out on Tuesday. A new Bros Who Think pod out on Thursday. If you are a fan of the Kaiju number 8 review series, there should be one up tomorrow along with this pod. By the time you hear this, it should be out. So if you read the manga Kaiju number 8, be sure to check that out. But yeah, that's all we got. You can find out all that information and more and stay up to date with everything going on with the network at Bros Who Think on Twitter. Be sure to follow us at Bros Who Think on Twitter, or you can go to our website, www.broswhothink.com. If you want to suggest a draft for us to do or suggest a topic, hit us up on Twitter at Bros Who Think or at our website, www.broswhothink.com. Scroll all the way down on the homepage, and then in the subject line, put Bros Who Binge topic or Bros Who Binge question or whatever you want to say, and send it to us, and we will do your topic, answer your question in the next episode. Also, what else? Oh, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube for more amazing content like this, or subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to on the interwebs.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely look out for what we got going on. We're going to bring some more interesting conversation in the Bros Who Binge. Hopefully we'll get that pitch it match going pretty soon. Movie to review next week. Luckily we're things are wrapping up in the sports. LeBron's got a ring.
Mandalorian's about to be here.
So we'll be talking about some more football stuff on the Bros Who Think. We've got Mandalorian coming up pretty soon, but there's stuff coming out on Disney. There's in other places, a lot of good TV out, and we'll find a way to get through this movie drought.
Yeah, we will. If we have to review Utopia, that'll be something we check out next. Shit, we'll get something. We'll jump on something, but
we'll review The Bachelorette.
Well, we can make a segment. I don't know if our fans will dig it, but we'll get.
We'll get
a female audience.
It's getting out there. Let me say, like the movie trivia Schmodown did a Bachelor, match where they had 2 past Bachelor contestants do Bachelor and Bachelorette trivia. So if our cohorts over there, I feel like some of our fans definitely subscribe to the movie trivia Schmodown. So I mean, if
if stuff like that's going on. Heck, we can also talk about the movie Trivia Showdown because I'm doing hella good watching along and answering questions.
We'll figure something out in this movie drought. We'll get something cracking.
But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things up for this week. I hope everyone stayed safe if you were in the hurricane areas, and I hope you continue to stay safe in our COVID world. So have a great week. Good rest of your day. Good night. And as always, keep binging.